one country, 7 teams. Well, actually 6 teams and 1 AHL team. I'm kidding, Montreal fans. Please don't kill me. All right, guys, let's rank these 7 Canadian teams here. Some of these teams are actually getting way better, so it's going to be very, very tight this time. It's not a clear-cut, easy number 1 through 7. It's actually very tough to do now. So make sure to comment down below your prediction on these 7 teams. Make sure to do 1 through 7 so we can come back at the end of the year to see if you got it right or not, or see if I got it right or not. We'll see. Make sure to comment below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe right down there. Let's get straight into this. All right, guys, we are cap-friendly, best NHL website out there. Okay, let's get straight into this. Let's start from the bottom. We all know who the 7th team is. It's no disrespect, but it's just clear cut, man. That is the Montreal Canadiens.
Canadiens de Montreal are proud to select David.
Let's briefly go over the Montreal Canadiens here. Let's look at a couple of their players here. Obviously, they are pretty young. They still have Nick Suzuki, very, very good player. You still have Cole Caulfield. You still have Slavkovsky. Hopefully, he can take the next step because his first year, he did not look good at all. And he did say that he's going to play good this next year. So hopefully he can do that. You still have a really good defenseman, Mac Matheson. Some of your other guys, Gould, he's solid. You guys drafted Ryan Backer out of the draft this year early. So I don't know if he's going to be playing this year, but he's going to be hopefully a solid player for this team. But honestly, there's just nothing really going for you guys. Like Kirby Dach is solid. Alex Newhook is solid. Jake Evans is solid. But other than that, guys, like this team isn't going to be competing. You're probably going to be battling for a lottery again. I'll be honest with you. You're in the toughest division in hockey, and you're very, very far behind your goaltenders. Jake Allen still and Sam Montembeault. It's not a good goalie duo at all. This is clear cut bottom of the NHL. Probably bottom 5 of the NHL if I'm being honest with you. And obviously you have some good players to build around, but I don't know, man. It's just not looking great in Montreal. Even though the fans really deserve a good team, it just never correlates on the ice. Your guys. I mean, it's not a horrible team, but it's not the greatest. Let's be real here. I'm not going to stand too much time on the Canadiens here, but we all should have Montreal definitely last of the 7. All right, guys, now it honestly gets really, really tough here. But this is my opinion. It's going to be very, very tough. Obviously, a lot of things could happen still. It's still in the offseason, so some trades or whatever could happen. But this is basically going to be the same ratings for the beginning of this year. But I'm going to start with the Calgary Flames at number 6. Let's check out some of their players here. Obviously, they do got some good players. There's a lot of issues going on in this organization for some reason. Obviously, you have Huberdeau, you have Kadri, you still have Mangiapane, you have Lindholm, you still have Uyghur, you still have Hanifin. These players I'm naming are really, really good. Like, you have some really good players. And you still have Markstrom in the back end, who hasn't been the greatest in the last couple of years. If I'm being honest, I feel like that's common. He's not been playing good hockey. But a lot of your good players want to leave. Noah Hanifin. He doesn't want to resign. Backlund doesn't want to resign. Lindholm doesn't want to resign. Like, what is going on here? Obviously, I think that's going to be an issue in the locker room. I feel like last year you guys didn't have the chemistry in the locker room. And I feel like that's going to be the same thing because all these players know, oh, this guy doesn't want to play. This guy doesn't want to come back next year. Like why? Like, it's just going to be a little issue in the locker room, I feel like. And they're just not going on the same page. Obviously, you guys have these good players. But I just feel like they're not bought in together. They're just not bought in on a whole to have the same goal for the Flames. I just don't get it. So I think that is going to be the big issue. You guys have good players on the team. It is a bit of an older team. Obviously, your depth is kind of young, but your star players are getting a little bit older. Huberdeau's 30, Kadri's 32, Backlund's 34, Uyghur's young, Hanifin's young, but they're not going to stay. You still have Tanev. He's 33 already. He only has 1 year left. Is he going to stay? Markham's 33. A lot of issues on this team, I feel like. Good players, but I just feel like them connecting is not going to be the best. Let me know how you guys feel about that, but I just don't see the connection for some reason on the Flames. So that's why I put them at 6. Good roster, but I don't think they're going to gel well. Let's go to number 5 here. Once again, it's just so very tough. All these teams could really honestly flip-flop. I'm going to say the Winnipeg Jets.
On that save, Hellebuck rebound, they score! Keegan Colasar, bang!
Same reason as the Flames a little. Some of their players want to leave. Scheifele asked for a trade. Hellebuck asked for a trade, basically. Those are your 2 top players right now. Obviously, you still have Kyle Connor, unreal player. You have Nikolai Ehlers, very, very good player. He's traded for Iafallo. Nino Niederreiter, very good player as well. Your team's not terrible. It's honestly not that bad. I think this team is a very mid-tier team. I don't think, since you're at 5 right now, that's not like, oh, you guys are bad. That's like edge of playoffs, I feel like, honestly. I think you're on the edge of playoffs here. Your defensive core, honestly, you're pretty good. Morrissey, great season last year. Maybe he could recreate that. Nate Schmidt, solid D-man. Pionk is solid. Dylan, he's getting a little bit older. He's really slow, but he's still a solid defenseman. DeMello, not terrible, man. Not terrible. If especially you have Hellebuck on the back end, he's going to carry you guys close to a playoff spot. That's just what he can do, man. That's his ceiling. That's how good Hellebuck really is. But he has 1 year left. Like, do you guys want to trade him? You guys don't want to leave on a free. If I'm being honest with you, you guys don't want to leave him free. But your forwards, you got some depth. You have Nemestikov, you have Appleton, Lowry. Like, it's not terrible here in Winnipeg, even though Pierre-Luc Dubois is gone. But I just feel like you don't have enough oomph to get over the edge, if I'm being honest with you. But you guys are in an easy division, so that might help you guys for playoffs. If anything, maybe the Wild could fall off and you guys could step up in front of the Predators or something and sneak into the top 3, or even hit the wild card. Who knows? The division does help you guys. It definitely does benefit you. But I think this is a mid-tier team. You guys still have some superstars with Kyle Connor, but I feel like with Scheifele wanting to leave, Hellebuck wanting to leave, turmoil might be a little issue in the locker room. I don't know. I think mid-tier is definitely going to happen with this team. I don't think you're going to be bottom in the NHL. I think you're definitely around, I'd say 19 to probably 23. I think that's where you guys are going to end up this year. So I think that's a solid number 5. That means number 4 is going to be the Vancouver Canucks.
Rank for you in playoff pushes, the excitement of this building and the fans' involvement over the last couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's been unbelievable. It's a lot better than Vancouver, I'll tell you that for free.
That's so surprising, right? You guys are all going to be typing, oh, the Vancouver Canucks definitely suck. Yes and no. Yes and no, right? I always say this. I have a really good roster on paper, guys. They do have a really good roster on paper. JT Miller, Pedersen, Besser, Kuzmenko, very good. Garland. You have Teddy Bluger now. You have Quinn Hughes. You still have Fletcher, Demko. Honestly, a solid goaltender if he can stay healthy. Obviously, he had an up and down. He's very inconsistent, but if he can stay healthy and get his game going, he's actually a very solid goaltender. Your defense got better, which is definitely going to help them because your defense has been very, very bad. Like, bottom 3 of the NHL bad. You have Quinn Hughes. Tyler Myers is not that great of a defense, to be honest with you. Hronek is solid. Susi is solid. Ian Cole, good veteran presence for the younger guys. Very, very solid defensive core. Better. It's an improvement. It's an improvement, which is well needed in Vancouver. But if you look up front, guys, your depth is honestly not terrible. Teddy Bluger on your third line is not terrible at all. Hoglander, hopefully he can take the next step because he does have some... He has some ability, guys. He could definitely step up his gameplay here. Tanner Pierce, I don't know if he is out long term. It says he's an LTIR. Hopefully he is all solid. But... he's not. This is a solid roster, man. You have still Mikheyev. Hopefully he can come back from IR. It's a solid team. I think Demko's gonna step up, especially with his D-core being better. I think JT Miller's gonna have a strong year. Hopefully Besser can come back strong. But I think the Vancouver Canucks are gonna be a little bit better. They're in a little tougher division with the Pacific. Pacific is getting a little tougher. But I feel like Vancouver, they're about it, man. I feel like they're about it. Hopefully their star players can perform. Their goaltender can lock in. And yeah, defense, if they can hold their own a little, I think this team can be competing for a playoff spot. I wouldn't say that. I don't think they're top 3 in the Pacific. I think they might be lurking for a wildcard spot, but it's gonna be very, very close. But I think they're better than the Jets, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the roster and the Canucks, and I feel like they have more upside than the Jets somehow. I don't know, because Vancouver, they always let us down, right? They always let us down. Let's go to the top 3, and that is the Leafs, Oilers, and the Senators remaining. This is exciting, boys. This is exciting because the Senators got way better. And I'm going to put them at number 3, guys. I'm going to put them at number 3.
Fresh from the bench, it's Crosby. Crosby on Kunitz and shot. Penguins win it! And they go to the final!
I know you guys are going to say, oh, the other Senators, they suck, right? They do suck. But not this year, man. I don't think they're going to suck this year. Just because they got Tarasenko does not mean, oh, they're making the blast. They're going back to the conference finals and losing to Pittsburgh. Sorry. I just had to put that in, guys. I had to put that in. I had to put that in. This team is really, really good. Tim Stutzla, Brady Tkachuk, Giroux, Tarasenko, Batherson, Josh Norris, Kubalik. That is 7 other forwards, guys. Like, that is unreal already. Let's go to the back end. Shabbat, Chikrin, Zub. Thank you for typing that down low. Thank you for that. I said Zub. It's Zub. Brandstrom, Jake Sanderson. Dude, this team is unreal. Obviously, the one question mark, not one question mark, the biggest question mark is definitely Jonas Korpisalo. Can he produce like he was in LA last year? Like I said before in my Senators video, the defense needs to lock in. If the defense can lock in and the forwards can play back a little more and lock in on the defensive side of the puck, this team can go far, man. This team can go far because I don't think Korpisalo is a guy who can really save a team who's poor defensively, because we saw it in Columbus, but we saw him go to LA where they had a better defense in front of him and he was pretty damn good. Playoffs, a little iffy, but it is what it is. We saw what he could do with the good defense in front of him. I think if Ottawa can lock in on the back end, this team's gonna be scary, man. This team's definitely gonna be scary. The top 6 is top 5 in the NHL. Top 5 in the NHL. Like that, this top 6 is unreal. If Tarasenko can get some chemistry with any of these players, if him and Giroux can maybe link up and be perfect together, or if hopefully Josh Norris can come back perfectly healthy, guys, because he could put a 40 next year. He could put a 50 next year. That even some of the top 9 guys are really, really good on this team. Defense are very, very solid as well. I think this team has a high ceiling, but we thought this last year too. We thought, okay, Talbot's coming in. He's a solid goalie. And they really got let down, I'll be honest with you. Ottawa were very, very underachievers last year. Obviously, DeBrincat did not play the greatest last year, but I'm hoping these guys can turn it around. Yeah, have a good team on paper. We'll see if you guys can get that chemistry and put it on the ice. Because new owner, maybe it's something different with the team. I don't know. But I'm rooting for you guys. And hopefully you guys can put on paper, put it on the ice, and show this fun brand of hockey. I feel like this team's going to be very, very fun to watch. So you guys definitely want to leave your head up high. Or number 3 on this list. Okay, number 2 here, guys. Leafs or the Oilers, 2 of the most toxic franchises, most passionate fans. I'm gonna go with the Edmonton Oilers as number 2, guys.
A missed play by Smith and a long shot that Smith unable to get.
This team is solid. You have to be top 3 when you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on your team. You have Zach Hyman, very good player as well. Evander Kane, very good. Nugent Hopkins, is he going to score 100 points again? Maybe. I don't know. Obviously, 99 of them were on the power play? I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. It was like 97? Okay. Darnell Nurse, horrible defenseman, 9.2. That's going to be a brutal contract for a long, long time. Ekholm, very solid defenseman. He fits perfectly on this team. Defense, once again, is not the greatest. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like this decor on this team. Bouchard, very good defenseman. I'm glad you guys signed him. He's so good. That guy's so good, especially on the point on the power play. Like, he's so fun to watch on that power play. But we always talk about this with these Canadian teams, if I'm being honest with you. Goaltender situation, man. Jack Campbell, very underperformed as you guys paid him. Being honest with you, very underperformed. Stuart Skinner did not play the greatest either. Obviously, he's a younger goaltender, so I feel like you guys have to try to start him because he's the younger one, and he was showing the most poise and potential last year, I guess. And even though it didn't work great in playoffs, but I think you have to try with Skinner. But either way, I'm not super comfortable with these 2 in my net, especially with this decor. If you guys had the Vegas decor, perfect. You can do this. Like, perfect. Have those 2 goaltenders, but you don't have the Vegas decor. You don't, like, not even close to their same decor. Bottom 6, did it get better than last year? Not really. I'm gonna be honest with you, not really. You guys obviously added Counter Brown, very good, low risk, high reward. He's coming off a huge injury, so if he can get back to where he was before, he is gonna help this top 6 tremendously with an extra probably 25 goals this year. Especially if he's playing with McDavid, he might score 40. You know what I mean? Like, who really knows who he's gonna play with? But bottom 6, defense and goaltender are not the greatest on this team, I'll be honest with you. So it's gonna be another one of those years in Edmonton. They're gonna get past the first round and second round, either face the Knights. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. Can they even beat the Kings this year? I don't know, man. I don't know, but very good team. Team is obviously gonna be solid in the regular season, but we'll see what it comes during playoffs. We'll see what happens during playoffs. That means that the Toronto Maple Leafs are number 1.
Down is loose. Sagan can't get it. Score! Grab by Sean.
In Canada, I feel like it's just not debatable. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just not debatable. You have Austin Matthews, you have John Tavares, you have Mitch Marner, you have William Nylander. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation that Nylander might get traded. A lot of things can happen still, but he's unreal, man. He's unreal. Even if you trade him, you're gonna get a very good player back. But now you have Bertuzzi, now you have Max Domi, you have Camp still, you have Ryan Reeves. You have some physicality on this team now. Matthew Nyes under a full season under his belt. Is he gonna compete with Bedard for Rookie of the Year? It's possible, bro. It's possible. He looks really good in playoffs. Morgan Riley on the back end, Klingberg on the back end, McCabe, Brody, Liljegren, Timmins, Giordano. The solid decor. It's not the best decor I've ever seen, but Klingberg, he's going to add some offensive ability as well to help Morgan Riley. But obviously, his defensive ability is not the greatest anymore, if I'm being honest with you. But like I said with these other Canadian teams, the goalie situation again. Joseph Wool, he obviously had a tough situation last year in playoffs. He showed some good moments. Are you gonna start him? I doubt it. It's gonna be Samsonov, and obviously maybe Wool can take that net. Maybe. I always say this analogy. What if it's like a Ben Bishop and a Vasilevsky thing? Samsonov is Ben Bishop and Wool is Vasilevsky. takes over the net and never lets it go. Maybe that's a possibility. Not obviously, I'm not super high on that. Don't think that's really gonna happen, but he's a solid backup for now. Could potentially be a good starter. This team is really good, man. The top 6 is unreal. Bottom 6 is pretty damn good as well, man. Obviously, Ryan Reaves is not the best hockey player, but he's gonna add a toughness to this team. Maybe it's a fake toughness, like I heard before. A fake toughness. Superstars are still not gonna be tough. I get it. But you're gonna know when Reaves is on the ice. He's gonna bring the energy to the building. Fans are gonna love him. And come playoff time, he's gonna take some bad penalties at sometimes, but he's gonna bring some energy with some fights and big hits. But yeah, man, this team is solid. Another playoff run. Hopefully they can get out of the first round again, and maybe even get out of the second, and maybe go on the way towards Stanley. But I think this is the best Canadian team. Goes Leafs, Oilers, Senators, Canucks, Jets, Flames, and Canadiens. That is my list. Comment down below, who do you think is going to be the best Canadian team next year? And comment down below your list as well. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, guys. It really does help a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Much love. Be great. I'll see you guys later.